Testing, testing. Hey, how's it going, guys? We're going to be starting the stream, guys, in about 30 minutes. So just hang out for a second, and we will, of course, be jumping in pretty soon. Make sure we're out of Skype here. Hold on one second. Okay, good, we are. All right, guys, we'll be back quite soon. You might hear me messing around here on the PC. Probably be looking and following the chat before the stream. So just make sure to let us know you're here. Here.
If you write anything on your computer, you need to get Grammarly.
I write pretty much all day, every day, and Grammarly makes my writing better.
As a student, I like that it's free.
It actually is correcting everything as I'm writing it.
Grammar errors, spelling errors, and even helps me find the right words to use so I can say what I want to say.
It catches all those embarrassing little mistakes before I hit send.
I downloaded Grammarly around my freshman year because I was just horrible at typing.
Grammarly is like my
can, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. We're going to go ahead and get started here with Polaris Sector Lumens. We've actually already played some earlier for those of you guys that were at the earlier stream, but obviously now we're going to be taking a fresh look. So welcome everybody, and I think what I'm going to do actually is, and it's completely up to you guys, do you guys want us to play at the Lumens? Or do you guys want us to play as one of the other races? Of course, I want to show the Lumens off first off, and then you guys can decide. So we're going to wait another minute until the stream officially begins. Then I'm going to show off the Lumens, explain a little bit about their culture and their history, and then we're going to decide whether you guys want to see Lumens or whether you guys want to see another race. Hey Byron, good to see you, man. Okay. Okay guys, so here we are. Once again, we're going to be getting started. So I want you guys to decide whether you want us to play as the Lumens or another race. Now that we are here in the game, I want to go ahead and show off the Lumens. And another thing we're going to do is we're actually going to create a massive galaxy. So this is one addition to the Lumens add-on, is it's actually going to make things much bigger, if you want them to be, of course. And Byron says he finds the Lumens a bit creepy. I do too. When you actually learn about what the Lumens are like, they are very creepy. So we're going to proceed to race selection, and we're going to jump to the Lumens. Pure light can take on any form. Lumens can even moderate how brightly they shine. They'll dazzle you 1 minute and light fires the next. Now this is where things get really important. And while they masquerade as angels of light, they are evil beings who would conquer the world if they only had the desire. Instead, they prefer fights that could go either way. They draw their energy from the stars, so long flights aren't their cup of tea. It's much easier to just attack anyone who ventures into their systems and resort to piracy as the need arises. They don't have a strong taste for other beings' things, though they're partial to a quaint little knick-knack every once in a while. Instead of holding on to their loot, they just sell or trade it. They can easily melt metal, they shape rocks, and they can vaporize water. Nobody really understands or can explain their culture or art. As you guys can imagine, this is an interesting new culture, and they certainly bring a lot to the game in terms of their actual sort of background and history. Their physiology is crazy. So they seem like luminescent humanoid creatures, but they have a ton of different traits. Now, to me, they look like the old ones from any of H.P. Lovecraft's books, or a lot of H.P. Lovecraft's books, if you've read them. Another thing they remind me of is actually sort of fake angels, like sort of a demon that pretends to be an angel, because they actually, if you read into their history, they've actually convinced cultures to worship them in the past. So these guys definitely have the ability to portray themselves as good beings, but in reality, they're always looking out for the bottom line, which is, of course, themselves. So here we go, guys. We're going to do a little straw poll if Muso is here, and that is, do you guys want us to play as Lumens or another culture? In fact, if you're able to, Cheeto, there's not many here, many cultures. In fact, I think there's 10. If you want to go ahead and copy this down and make a little straw poll for us, that would be awesome. And that way we can actually play with whoever you guys decide. I'm going to take a quick 1 minute intermission here, guys, and grab some water. And hopefully when I come back, you guys will have sort of, I guess, an idea of who you'd like to play as. All right, guys, sorry about that. Let's take a look. Cool. Muso's got a straw poll. Thank you, Muso. I like the Gavekins idea. Cable Nexus is saying Gavekins, which I think is a really cool idea. I'm going to go ahead and pick one myself. What? I already voted on this poll? That's not true. Or maybe I didn't. I was just trying to vote again. So actually, so far, we have Humans and Lumens in the lead. We definitely need a tiebreaker. So let's make it so that, in fact, I've got a little watch here. I've got a little stopwatch. So this is how this is going to work, guys. To be fair, I'm going to give you guys exactly 1 minute to finish that poll up. So let's go ahead and make sure to vote whoever you'd like to vote for. Any of these races are, of course, up for grabs. The ones I hate the most are the Logans. They're just kind of creepy. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and refresh the results and see what the winner is, and it's definitely going to be Lumens. Okay, very cool. So let's jump in and play as the Lumens, my friends. Now, we could actually pick aquatic race, but we'd have to actually take away points from other things to make that happen, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start the game. The Lumens actually seem to like the same kind of world that humans like, which is just an Earth-like world. Guys, look at the size of this galaxy. Look at this. So we obviously took the largest galaxy we could, and you can actually just see that the amount of planets here is unbelievable. They're all over the place. We've got some incredible stars here. We've got some red giants. This is a spectral class M. This is actually the most common star in the solar system, believe it or not. These over here are a little less common. So as you can see here, this is a spectral class G. And basically, this spectral class star is the same one as our sun. So, as a matter of fact, this is basically what our sun is like. Now, if we had something like this, a spectral class K, our planet would be completely destroyed. Essentially, Earth would just be a burned out husk with absolutely no importance at all. And you're absolutely right, that's a lot of planets. Okay, so yeah, it certainly is. And let's go ahead and get started, guys. So one thing you have to understand about Polaris Sector is, much like a lot of other games of this genre, this is a game that takes a while to actually develop yourself in. It's not something where you're immediately going to have a huge empire. That's just not going to happen. This is a game you really need to keep practicing. You need to keep learning things, keep learning from your mistakes, of course, etc. So this is interesting. There's an anomaly in the algal system our explorers are calling a wormhole. You guys know what a wormhole is, more or less. Basically, if we jump into this wormhole, we'll pop up on an entirely different side of the galaxy, or maybe we'll just pop up right here. We're really not sure, but I'm not going to mess with that wormhole right now. Another very important part of the game is, of course, the research, the economics, etc. And thanks, Muso. We'll try to stay a little bit away. In fact, we can lower the volume a bit here. Hold on one second. Yeah, that makes sense. The volume range is quite high. All right, let's see if that's better. And it looks like there's something interesting in the Edesic system that we should take a closer look at. And that's this cluster of asteroids. So if you guys take a look here, it says asteroid clusters offer a chance to find valuable resources and even learn something new and unique. You'll need a ship with a container transport module if you want to develop them, though. So we can eventually come back here once we're done researching that particular ship. But for now, we're unfortunately going to have to stay away from the asteroids. We might learn a lot from them, but at the same time, we might learn absolutely nothing from them. By the way, look at this star. There's two beautiful stars right here. Got to take a look. So these are spectral class Fs with a surface temperature of 6,000 to 7,500 K. I'm not sure what the K is, but that sounds unbelievably hot. So this is usually orbited by hot, acidic, or desert planets. Such stars can sometimes have oceanic or Earth-like planets. Interesting. And this one over here, Alethafar, and this is the more common naked eye stars, white or bluish white. They're usually quite big and emit a lot of energy. These stars are usually still too hot to host Earth-like worlds. However, sometimes one can be found at a distant orbit. Just makes space so interesting. It really is. Polaris sector meme generator. That's pretty cool. All right, so right now what we're trying to do, guys, I'm actually trying to find a world to colonize. We will take a look at the research as well, but my goal is to find a world that we can colonize nearby here and start developing it. Another thing I want to do is, you never know what's going to happen on your own home planet. You could have people revolt, you could have a lot of different problems. So I'm actually going to purchase some ground units here, and what the Lumens have is something called a peacekeeper. A lot of the other races have police. For whatever reason, the Lumens are called peacekeepers, which kind of makes sense. If we take a look here at the research, there's a ton of different stuff to research, and another thing I probably should mention is that the Lumens expansion has added even more research possibilities than we had before. So very, very fascinating stuff. Kelvin, thank you, Damien Narushima. So as you can see, right now we could focus on increasing natural philosophy, meta-chemistry, but I think we're just going to keep everything at 25% right now. I might move it up to 60% fairly soon, but really my goal right now is to immediately find a new location. So we're not going to have enough fuel to get back. Unfortunately, we're going to have to head back to our home planet. We haven't found any colonies yet, but be patient. This takes time. Now, I would jump into the diplomacy screen, but we have not yet actually encountered any other races. So the best thing for us to do right now is just kind of try to survive, keep on exploring the area around us. Unfortunately, we can't colonize a lot of the planets around us. The good news is that no matter how inhospitable a planet is, you will eventually be able to colonize it as long as you start researching things that allow you to colonize more difficult planets. We're observing a large number of hyperspace tunnel outlets in the CET system. A system like that could be strategically crucial even without any developable planets, given the amount of space it controls. We better get a military satellite over there to establish a strong defense. That's definitely something we'll consider doing, but right now, exploration is key. Also, keep in mind that Lumens really aren't obsessed with conquest. There are some other races in the game that are evil and are obsessed with conquest, but the Lumens, they're not really interested in that. You know, they're interested in destroying ships that come into their galaxy. They're not interested in creating ships to go into other galaxies. It's just not something that really benefits them, essentially. So basically what we're trying to do here as the Lumens is to try and create a sort of star system here that we can rely on, that we can go and visit some planets. And we're starting right there in the middle of the solar system, or the galaxy, I should say. So we should be doing a lot better than we are right now. But like I said, this game is totally randomized. It takes time to develop. So for instance, this galaxy is not going to be recreated again. If we were to go ahead and start a new game, these planets wouldn't exist. You know, there'd be a completely new setup, completely new likelihood for colonies, things like that. So sometimes it takes a long time to find a colony. Sometimes you find one right away. That's hilarious. So you guys are talking about, are the Lumens offended by fluorescent lights? And Musa says, what about light bulbs? Is that considered blasphemous? Spinica says, yeah, that's a legit concern. They might view light bulbs as slavery and designate us for extermination. Yeah, it's quite possible. These Lumens are pretty evil, but they're a weird kind of evil. Now, here we go, guys. We found a planet in the Kappa system. It's the Kappa system. My goodness, that is interesting. The Kappa system of all systems. That seems very similar to our own home planet. Our colonists will have a great time setting up a new settlement here. Let's take a look at this thing. So it's an oceanic planet, and we're going to go ahead and plan. Yeah, there we go. Musa did the Kappa system. Nice, man. We're going to plan colonization. Now, if you take a look here, this place has organic materials. And there's also science points. Now, I really want to get to a planet that gives us resources, but I think this is going to be one that's going to do a lot better as a science outpost. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take innovation. So this is going to basically mean that everything built on the planet will be handled by the AI. If I don't want it handled by the AI, I can actually plan colonization and select micromanagement. And I do recommend that you do that for the most part. I really do. There we go. Keep on going, and we'll keep on looking for more planets. Now, it's not like we're instantly going to get that colony. If you take a look over here, the colonizer is going to take 4 years and 8 months to build. So you can understand now why some of the unlockable research in the research area is 1,000 years, 2,000 years, etc. This game can really take a while. Now, this planet, Chi Gemini the First, look at all the stuff it has. It's got gravitonium, it's got radium, it's got just a lot of incredible stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make a mineral, basically a mining planet of sorts. I'd really like to make it just a basic planet. Like our home planet, you know, something where a bunch of people can live, raise their little lumen kids, which seems kind of creepy to me, little light bulbs that they hold in their lumen pedal hands, and basically, you know, spread around the galaxy. But we're going to have to focus on resources first. So there we go. Spinica says more 4X games need to embrace that design decision. Spinica says he likes the decision to have a real-time campaign. I do too, Spinicus. I do too. All right, let's go ahead and head out a bit. Go to Erakis. And we're going to head back home. So at this point, we're just waiting for the colonial ship to be built. We can actually increase speed. We won't do this all the time, but just for now, just to get that colonial ship out. And we're actually building 2 colonial ships. So there we go. There goes the first one. And Kappa Serpens is ours. Beautiful. So really the goal here, guys, is try to join these two together. There we go. Beautiful. So obviously, and this is actually quite true in a lot of 4X games, the more advanced your planet becomes, the more you've built on your planet, the more influence it's going to have on the star systems around it, which pretty much makes sense. So I always recommend when people are building colonies in Polaris sector away from one another, always try to join them in the middle, and here we succeeded in doing just that. So now these 2 planets, or these 3 planets really, are going to be very close to one another. Now that might make for a smaller galaxy for us, but at least if we get attacked, we are going to know exactly where we need to go, what we need to do, etc. If you get attacked and you're spread all over the place, you're just going to be in a very confused situation. So here we go. Let's keep on moving. Arrakis, Land of Sand, and the Spice Melange. Oh, wait, that was Arrakis. Oh, Dune memes. Today we're having just ridiculous amount of memes left and right. I have a confession to make, and people are going to absolutely hate me for this. But I've read Dune, and I have to say, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I know. It's a great book. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great book. Just not my thing, really. And I remember reading Dune and just kind of being like, it's all right, sort of thing. So I am a heretic, for lack of a better word here. All right, here we go, guys. Going to Shilida. We're still looking for more planets, and you can see that area has grown a little bit. Let's go to Arrakis. There's Arrakis. It'd be cool if we had planets from the Dune universe here. It is a bit odd, says Templex. Yes, definitely. It is. It was a world that for me was very hard to get involved in. So there we go, we found Vega. Let's see what's on Vega. So we've got Vega 1. Now, to actually get in here, we need the seismo-resistant atmospheric dome. And I think I can understand why. Look at that planet. That is hell on Earth. That's absolutely terrifying. And hello, Trocon. Thank you for following us, man. It's good to see you. But yeah, that planet is hell on Earth. I don't want to go back there. Let's go to Alva. And let's actually take a look at this star. No. Don't want a rally point. Huh, it's not actually giving me a description of that star. That's a little weird. Let's keep on moving. Okay, so we might not have enough fuel to get back to our home planet. We're gonna have to head back and continue our exploration later. In fact, we could start building some exploration ships pretty soon, but I think we'll wait for now. Now, one thing we've definitely overlooked, and something we're going to have to start doing, is purchasing some defensive ships. Unfortunately, it's going to cost money to keep them around, but I think we better get some strike corvettes. So let's go ahead and get 5 strike corvettes just to start out with. And unfortunately, these strike corvettes are going to cost us quite a lot of resources, but, you know, we absolutely need them. Byzantine politics? What, in our Lumen system? No, there's no Byzantine political system. It's a very simple political system. If you're not a Lumen, you get killed. If you are a Lumen, you get killed. If you're anything in between, you get killed. It's very straightforward. There's no confusion whatsoever. By the way, guys, we've got this initial, of course, planet. This is our home planet, Light Primo. If anybody wants us to rename it, let's have some name ideas down below, and we will, of course, rename Light Primo to something else. I mean, I think it's a good question, Vargas. I do like sort of any book that touches upon politics, but there's actually another sci-fi book that I read that I really enjoyed that was very political, called Use of Weapons. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Use of Weapons, and I felt it was similar to Dune in a lot of ways, actually, and I really, really liked it. It was just a great sci-fi novel. It's by Ian Banks. There are several books in the series, but it's just a really, really fun, sort of fun series, and there's a lot of political intrigue involved. All right, let's keep on looking. Now, we could build another scout, but I think we're good for now. If we build another scout, obviously we could be basically looking around in multiple different directions, which is, you know, obviously a good idea. But sometimes you just want to keep one of these ships around and hope that they do their best. If we take a look here at this planet, for instance, we could see that already things are being built. We've, of course, left this completely up to the AI, and it looks like the first things they're building are factory and an organic plant. So I want to be very clear that if you jump into this game, don't expect things to happen immediately. I know I've said that many times, but I'm going to be really sad if people jump into this game and, you know, play 20 minutes and decide they don't like it, because to really get into this game, even our entire stream here, even if we did a 2-hour stream, would not be enough time to fully explain this game. You really have to get into it yourself, develop a love for your race, culture, and just take over the universe as best you can. I've actually got a human campaign at home where I'm trying to be very peaceful, not being militaristic at all, and things have been going pretty well. Now, I'm playing on a much smaller galaxy, but I basically own a third of the galaxy, and I've actually managed to fight off 2 invasions. So this game really takes time to get into, and it also takes time to determine what kind of race you prefer. Some are more militaristic, some are more peaceful, some are sort of neutral, you know, depends. So it's really up to you guys. There we go, another planet, and this one is Kappa Peacock. Look at all the Kappas. What is going on? I demand to understand who has hacked our game. I think we've been hacked, guys. Here we go. We're going to plan colonization, and on this planet, I'm going to make it balanced. So we already have one planet that's based on resources. I think we can afford to have one fairly well balanced. Let's go back to Kappa Serpens. We've got Kappas all over the place. Yes, absolutely true, Kilania, absolutely true. And I'm so glad I'm not the only one that knows about Ian Banks. But for any of you guys that like Dune, I would highly recommend Use of Weapons. And I don't even think Use of Weapons is the first book in the series. It's just really, really good. And I'm pretty sure that for most books in the series that I'm thinking of, Use of Weapons, you can more or less read them in any order you want. At least that's the understanding I had. I could be wrong. Here we go. No, we've got everything. We've got all the overlays on top here. The weird thing is I'm seeing the overlays here. I'm not seeing them on my screen, but obviously I'm seeing them in the chat. Let's go ahead. Here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to check the Polaris sector button on or off, and then I'm going to check it back on. We'll see what happens. Okay, do you guys see the game at all? All right, let's see if this works. So we're just rechecking the boxes, and I'm going to recheck the alert boxes. Hold on. Ooh, which sheen was that, Kalania? Okay, now it works. Cool, cool. So yeah, well, now we know before we do the stream, you know, we usually have everything set up fine, but we'll make sure to just double-click on the buttons to make sure they pop up. Actually, don't tell us, because I think I know the one you're talking about, and I don't want it to give anybody any spoilers. You could private message me, but I think you could private message me and we'll be safe. Yes. I know what you're talking about. I had a feeling that it was something like that. I had a feeling. So, Use of Weapons is definitely a book that it's actually kind of hard to give away spoilers for Use of Weapons, but with what Kalani was about to say, I could tell she was touching upon something that could possibly give away a lot of information. And of course, if you like space combat, or more importantly, combat in a sci-fi universe, it's definitely the book to go for. All right, I want to take that planet. We're Lumens. We want everything. Bow down before us. The way I see the Lumens, and tell me if you guys agree, is I see the Lumens as sort of these demigods. You know, not necessarily good demigods, very neutral demigods whose goal is to basically make the entire solar system worship them. We already know about their history of pretending to be angels of light when they're definitely not angels of light. They're quite opportunistic, actually. So maybe they're looking for just respect or spiritual respect. Who knows? Maybe that's their goal. It really is, Kalani, and I feel ashamed because I've only read Use of Weapons. I started another one, but then actually I moved here to Italy, and I forgot to bring it with me. I can't even remember which of the series I started, but I've got to get back into that series. It's so fun to read. It really is. Ooh, guys, look at this. Our observers detected artificial activity in Upsilon Lyra system. It looks like we've come across an intelligent alien civilization. So now we have to decide if we should make contact, and if so, in what manner. How strong are they? Are they behind us in their development, or are we the stragglers? Are they warlike or peaceful? Is it even possible to communicate with them? That's what we'll have to find out. So let's go ahead and, well, that's them. We can find out quite a lot about them by just saying hello this way, but they could attack us. Thankfully, we do have a fleet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send these guys back, all right? Now, I want to send the fleet out, but this is another thing about the Lumen fleet. They don't have a lot of fuel. And remember, when we were reading about the Lumens initially, the actual history of the Lumens explained that they don't like to travel long distances. So their strike corvettes, I don't even think they can make it to this planet, for instance. Look at that. We'd need more than 5,000 fuel to get to Aladfar. So we're going to basically have to find a way to expand without necessarily having to travel too far, because if we're going to expand militaristically with the use of fleets, we're going to have to be very close to the enemy. So these guys are full of tricks, and I think that would be one of the negative aspects of the Lumens, is they are definitely very, very slow in terms of movement. Or not even so much that they're slow, just that they're not capable of covering long distances without some serious assistance from research. And obviously, we could get research to the point where we would be able to make that travel, but right now we're going to have to wait a bit. Hello, Dora Niner! Yes, absolutely. Well said, Kelania. Okay, so if we actually look from out here, you know, I'm kind of impressed with our tiny little galaxy. I mean, it's nothing special, but you know, let's be honest. I mean, you know, we have one sun in the Milky Way galaxy here, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 suns. I'd say that's pretty awesome, and much bigger, obviously, than the galaxy we have now. So we're going to go ahead and continue, and I'm going to take a look here. Let's see if we can get to Dita. Oh, that makes sense, B. Vargas. So B. Vargas' suggestion for why the Lumens have this problem of not being able to travel long distances is really interesting. He's saying they're an energy-based culture, and they are an energy. They draw energy from the solar system or from the light around them. So maybe they start to run low on energy over long distances. That's very possible. Obviously, a lot about the Lumens is a total secret, and maybe we'll never know. Here's a secret. Can we get back to our home planets? I certainly hope so. And let's see how our secondary planets are doing. So actually, Light Segundo is doing okay. They're building an organic plant. There's not much on the planet right now. You know, it just recently started, but it looks like that organic plant is nearly done. You know, 2 years in terms of this game is actually very, very fast. I don't see any lights on this side of the planet, so we don't have many people colonizing it. Right now, the population is at 2,000, which isn't a lot. Convert the races to light. I like how we're getting a lot of different sort of conspiracy theories about, you know, what the Lumens are about. I think it's interesting. You know, maybe they're the ultimate good, and we just don't understand them. What's this? What is that? Okay, they're gonna go ahead and colonize Kappa Peacock. So it's Kappa Peacock. Do we have some sort of image of a peacock? It'd be great to put the Kappa symbol next to the peacock symbol. I think what we're going to do is actually head to Kappa Peacock, wait for this colonizing ship to start the colony, and then we can get fuel directly from the planet itself. So that's one great thing about having these planets, and this is why if we want to attack the enemy, we need planets in close proximity to them, because this is the only place we can refuel. So between stars, they get cut off from the source. Interesting, Bivarkas. I think that's very possible. They also might have some sort of system of generating the energy that we don't know about. Maybe, for instance, an even brighter light than the stars that they've somehow, you know, managed to contain. Anything's possible. Also, what's this? That's the wormhole. Yeah, we're not going into the wormhole, at least not right now. And let's keep on moving. So we're going to go here, check out the rest of these areas. I really want these two areas to join together, but that could take some time. New research area introduced, synergization. Synergization makes it possible to simplify the management of technological processes by creating self-organizing and autonomous techno-industrial systems. Those systems can manufacture a wide range of different devices, instruments, and apparatuses, while also optimizing, modifying, and improving the methods of natural and other selection. So basically, Google Sheets. So if we want to research Google Sheets, we could always go into synergization. Now, of course, the two are dramatically different. Let's go ahead and keep on moving here. Iamda Serpens. Aha! We found another planet, guys, and this one's weird because it's a planet next to a wormhole. I'm not sure it's worth building anything on, but we could build some science points here, so I am going to go for innovation once again. Oh, very cool, Cable Nexus. All right, let's keep on searching. And actually, I think we can make it back just like this. We sure can. What else should we go for? Okay, let's go down this way. That's a great question, Pixel. Yes, you can absolutely get stuck and be unable to return to your home system. So one of the ways to get stuck is just to run out of fuel. And as long as you're close to one of your planets, then another ship can come and actually give you fuel. But let's say you jump into one of these wormholes, which we've done before. Let's say we jump into this wormhole, right? And we get dropped off somewhere over here. And then we start moving all throughout, etc. We go down here. That might be a position where our ship can never get back, where no ship would be able to save them because they've gone so far. So I think it's a lot more likely with wormholes. It can happen, obviously, with any ship in any galaxy, but most of the times you can actually save the ship with the use of another ship. Not always, but most of the time. Exactly, Cable. Yep. Oh boy, I think we might have gone too far. Speaking of getting stuck, we're about to get stuck. So here we go. We're actually going to have to wait for this system to increase. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to go here. And I am going to build a scout ship. So now we can show you guys exactly how that works. How do you refuel a ship that's way, way outside of where it's supposed to be? You basically overextended it. So right now we just need to wait for the ship to be built. 5 years to build a scout ship. This better be the greatest scout ship I've ever seen in my life. Yes, that too, Zach Blood. So we unfortunately don't have enough time in this stream to go over every intricacy of the game because there's so much in this game. But if you click here on Fleet Designer, there's so many different fleet compositions you could actually build here. That's just the fleet composition. So this is if you want to build your own fleet. You can mess around with this, change the name, change the way it looks, etc. But we also have a ship designer. And this is actually what Cable Nexus is talking about as well, and what Zach Blood is talking about. You can actually work with these ships, start designing them, and create basically your very own ship. I don't know how else to put it, but basically that ship, you can make it a fuel tanker, you can make it a complete missile ship where all it does is fire missiles. You can make it a total laser ship where all it does is, fire lasers, a troop carrier, etc. The possibilities really are endless. So I've heard actually a few stories, and I know Zach mentioned it before, a few stories of people creating freighters just to refuel those ships, which I think is really cool. And by the way, now that we've got this area, we're much closer to a planet we could take, but I really want these three to join up. Let's see how long it's going to be until we get that scout. 3 years! We're going to fast forward just a little bit, guys, just to show you how this works. Yes, massive depth. You're absolutely right, Zach Blood. By the way, I don't know if you guys are noticing, and you might not notice this if you haven't played the game much, but the Lumens, the population is quite low, 106,000. I've had populations of 400,000, 500,000 with other races at this point. It's a little bit low, it really is. Now, where is that other ship? All right, we're going to refuel, guys. So here we go. Oh, boy. We've just exceeded resource consumption of one of our metals. So this is actually going to start to slowly decrease the stockpile we have. And this is a very dangerous situation. Obviously, we're going to have to find another planet that can produce those same metals. So here we go, guys. Let's refuel this guy. Let's go right by him. And on the way, we will see. There you go, buddy. You should be good. No. Ooh, this is strange. Wait a minute. I know I've done this before. It's a scout freighter. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I'm using the wrong ship? I don't think so, though. That's weird, guys. Well, I know for sure you can refuel using another freighter. For whatever reason... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, for whatever reason, we're not able to get it here. If any of you pros want to let me know what to do, please do, because that is confusing. Last time, I'll admit, the last time I got a ship in this situation, they were already in a galaxy, so just by dropping off in the galaxy, I dropped some fuel. So I need a module, says Carlyman. I was worried about that. So back to the research screen. Speaking of ships getting stuck, that ship is going to be stuck there for quite a while. Now, I wouldn't recommend you doing this on your first Let's Play unless you're going for a very science-heavy race, but we're going to increase our science over here to 55% to applied sciences. So there's applied sciences and fundamental sciences. You can focus on either. Of course, the applied sciences are here on the right, the fundamental here on the left. This is, of course, something you've got to choose yourself. Whether or not you want to focus on that. All right, let's keep on searching through here. I'm going to drop off into this solar system. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I have to have a refueling tanker. Because we've played with Gavakins, and we were able to refuel those ships with no problems whatsoever. Unfortunately for the Lumens, we know that they don't like traveling long distances, and they're going to be stuck there for a while. Come on, expand your planets, boys and girls. Or Lumens. It's actually not even really a joke because I think it's the Uragons. It might be another race, but one of the races in this game actually has 4 genders. And depending on which genders mix with which genders, the offspring is going to have a specific sort of function in life. So whether a warrior, a builder, a politician, etc. So a lot of really interesting, historical data, I guess you could call it more cultural data about these races. Ah, that's so cool, Carlyman. So Carlyman is telling us to place that module together with a module that generates fuel from stars. It's called the mobile fuel station, and it's actually a really good suggestion for a number of reasons. But one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, is that's probably exactly what Lumens would do. Remember, Lumens are always trying to use the energy sources around them. So as Lumens, they would probably focus on that particular form of research to try and get something that will allow them to basically roam through the galaxy without stopping. It's certainly something that the Lumens don't have much of, and they could certainly stand to learn a little bit. So here we go, guys. Let's take a look at this other planet. And speaking of Gavakins, wow, we've got Gavakins here. Let's see if we can do some diplomacy. I don't think we can. And it's primarily because we haven't actually met up with them yet. We see them, but we haven't landed in their planet or their solar system or anything like that. But I might try to stop by, say hello, see what's up, guys. What are you guys doing? What's going on in the Gavakin world? That sort of thing. Here we go. Okay, this is the commander speaking. This territory is under control of Gavakin armed forces. Identify yourselves or you will be attacked immediately. So this is great, and I could just imagine the voice behind the Lumens. The best way I could explain it would be a sort of a voice that sounds holy, like almost like a holy, soothing, peaceful voice. I guess the best explanation would be the movie by Stanley Kubrick with the supercomputer. Is it 2001: A Space Odyssey? I think it is. That's what it reminds me of. So sort of 2001: A Space Odyssey type sound from the computer. A very kind, gentle sound, but we know that we're not that kind or that gentle. So we're going to say we're Lumen Light Messengers, coming with our deepest respect. Please give us the honor of meeting with your government to offer some modest gifts from our home planet. We could also say to them, we are citizens of a great state, and your threats are a waste of time. Contact your government immediately. So I'm definitely going to take this one right here, and we'll get back out of their hair. No, we don't want to do that because we're going to actually run out of fuel. So even the Lumen scout ships run out of fuel pretty quickly, unfortunately. We're going to go ahead and go over here. Pirate fleet detected at Lira. Okay, we've got our strike corvettes. Can they make it to Lira? Please say they can. I want to fight. I want to fight so bad. No, we're not going to do that. Stop. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go to the fight because we need to get closer to the enemy. Let me go to... Can I go to Kappa Lira? No, we can't because we haven't colonized this area. That's unfortunate. And actually, there weren't any aliens at Phi Lira. I can't see any, at least. No, there were no aliens here. So it's actually a false alarm. Okay, Theta Equalus. And I think we're going to get ourselves stuck here, too. Yep, sure enough. Man, these Lumens are not great with the long-distance travel, that's for sure. We're probably going to have to build another scout plane here. Or we could wait for, of course, our solar system to just grow. This is eventually going to grow. We're eventually going to start taking over even more planets just in our sphere of influence. And that's really what this is. This is our sphere of influence. We might not have this many actual ships, but this sphere is quite important. And there we go. Look at this. We do have a fleet here. I'm going to go take a look. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump down here, refuel, and I'm going to see if I can get over here. We just can't make it. Man. So unfortunate as well. Let's increase some focus on Ludens. Of course, to increase the focus on one thing, you're going to have to decrease the focus on other thing. So definitely keep that in mind, guys. Pixel, that's hilarious. Yeah, for anybody that's seen the Dark Crystal, they do look like the Dark Crystal. Rumors are spreading that you're having some kind of trouble here with your orbital infrastructure. We propose handling your defense in case anything happens. We're going to reject their offer. So they want to basically plan our defense for us. I don't trust those guys planning our defense. And we're going to send this ship back. Now, there's several big ships here. Hopefully, we manage to destroy them. Unfortunately, we have some unrest here at the colony, and one of the reasons is, of course, the orbital shipyard is being attacked by the enemy. We're going to go for a new ground unit here, a peacekeeper unit, and unfortunately, I think right now we can't build buildings because of the existing building combination. So the enemy may have very well attacked us. Let's go ahead, and sure enough, we have got a battle going on. Let's see if we can beat the enemy. Here we go, guys. So I really like the way battles are set up in this game. We're going to go ahead and basically set our forces up. Send these guys forward. Send these guys forward as well. And then we're going to go ahead and increase the time. Now the enemy has fighters, so I'm sure he's going to be using those fighters. We can obviously zoom in here. I personally think that the battle system in Polaris sector is one of the best for a 4X game. It's just really engaging. It's fun to watch. Look at that. We're going to definitely slow down there so we get a nice view. But as you can see, the enemy's got fighter planes, or fighter ships really, that are attacking us, doing quite a bit of damage. We've got to try to take them out. Now we could actually get some fighters as well. We need a carrier, and then we can basically put, as many fighters as we want on the carrier, and go from there. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Kalania. 51 fighters. Muso Slit says that's such a mafia way of handling things. It absolutely is. The way that they talk to us, they basically said, they're like, we think we could protect you or something. Just give us 10% of everything you make. It was very threatening. So yeah, of course we weren't going to accept that. No way. Now we are approaching here with our strike corvettes. I think the enemy fighters are actually in trouble. We're shooting them out of the sky pretty easily. And actually, if you look up here, the green represents our chances of winning, which right now is 79%. And the enemy's chances of winning are actually quite low at 21%. So we're going to start opening fire. Just trying to engage all these enemy ships. And they definitely have longer range than us, but I think they have worse shields. Get them, boys, get them. And we could actually slow down all the way here just to watch the explosion happen in really slow motion, which I personally love doing. I don't know if you guys do, but just look at that. Boom! She's gone. Some guys are still firing. Unfortunately, it looks like we may have lost a ship. Yeah, I think this guy's going to blow up. No, no! You can make it! Don't die! Oh, no! Completely vaporized. All right, we're going to go back to a more normal speed here. Here we go, guys. We've shown the enemies we can't be messed with. At least that's what we're trying to show them. Ooh, these guys might be trying to escape. Sneaky, sneaky. They escaped. There we go, guys. So it was a victory. And one of the really cool things here is you can actually take a look at specifically what happened, how many shots were fired, how many shots hit, etc. And I think that really is just awesome. It shows you just how well you fought and really teaches you how to improve things. Now, unfortunately, they've sort of messed up our economy here on the home planet, and they've created unrest. There are ways to get around the unrest, and that's to use initiative. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a curtailed workday so people don't have to work as hard. And second thing we're going to do is we're going to try and make this into a utopia. Now, this is obviously going to cost us a bit, but it should decrease the unrest on the planet. In fact, you can already see the unrest starting to fall here. And this is going to get us back to work, which is beautiful. Unfortunately, sometimes that's going to occur. Thanks, Damien. I'm not sure why it's so saturated right now. We might just have the volume too loud. Let's see if we can improve things. Hold on one second. Let's lower the mic volume. Recording. Okay, tell me if that's a bit better. And we're going to try to lower saturation on the mic, of course. try hitting it. It works most of the time. Oh, no, don't tell me that's what you've been doing with my mic in here, alone. God knows what you've done to this poor mic. Way better. Okay, awesome. So we had it at 90. We've brought it down to 80. That makes sense. Now, guys, unfortunately, we're getting to that point in the stream where we're going to have to save. I'm saving this under Lumens because I would like to continue this in our next Polaris Sector stream. We're off to a decent start. I mean, the only frustrating aspect is the fact that our capital was attacked. But you can actually see, look at all those lights on the dark side of our planet as it rotates. This is definitely a developed planet. This planet is heavily, heavily developed. And I love that about this game. The more buildings you add to a planet, the more time you spend on it, the more more activity you're gonna see on the planet. First, it's just gonna be the planet itself. Then you're gonna start to get, ships flying around, lights everywhere that basically represent cities. It's just really, really cool. So here we go. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys, and watching the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys want to see some more Lumens in the future. I definitely had some fun, and I'd like to play some more, but this is definitely the kind of game that we're going to have to stretch out over many, many, many streams to get a really great idea of sort of the mid and end game. And really, this doesn't really have much of an end game. I mean that in a good way. You can keep playing this non-stop. But of course, the end game would be to research everything, upgrade all your ships, and just control the entire universe. I don't actually recommend people necessarily do that. For instance, like I said in my last playthrough, I played very peacefully and had a great time. So if you want to be peaceful, you can do it that way. If you want to be warlike, you can do it that way. Or if you're somewhere in the middle, that works too. Templix says, nice to see the new race and going to have to start a new game soon. Thank you, Zach Blood. Thank you, Kalania, Damian Narushima. Thank you, Muso, as always, for moderating. Thank you, Vargas, just Cloud Cuckoo-lander, all of you guys. And, of course, to all of our viewers on YouTube as well. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.